What's going on, everyone? I'm Emeroy, the director of Tantrum. This is Tantrum Reacts. This is
Brandon B, creative director.
and
Lauren, the assistant artistic director.
and today we are watching Lisa Becomes Tough Mentor Lisa. I watched this already on my other channel. I have an idea what it is. Let's have these two check it out, and we'll share our thoughts as well. Being that we're all professional dancers, we all would know what it's like being instance trainees or being in that setting where you're working with a very tough director.
Yeah, you're going through it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay. Oh.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
You know, this reminds me of when we were doing the coffee museum and you stopped everything because Crystal was not doing anything you did. Correct. You said one correctly. It was like, what happened?
Is this a camp?
It's a competition show in China.
Oh. Okay.
All of you.
Yeah, you're just counting.
Yeah.
มันมีความรู้สึก
She's
ว่า
not wrong.
ตั้งแต่ต้นอะเราก็ต้องมันค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นเขาต้องดีเทลลิ่งมากกว่านี้ไม่ใช่แบบว่าเราทำอะไรก็ได้
Yeah.
Details.
The
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
She's not
First
playing.
one
Yeah.
hands have to be
Yep.
She's
Yeah.
side of you
No
Yeah.
space.
She's
the
clean.
small details like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
side.
Like
Okay?
hands up. There's this hands up and there's this hands up. There's
Oh my
this,
gosh.
yeah.
This
She's clean. She's cleaning now.
all the time.
Yeah. Ooh.
It has to be clear. What is that? Somebody was doing a rock instead of like a heart.
Oh God.
One more time.
But like, I also
Oh, they're
I
singing
get what
too.
she's
Props.
saying
Next one.
because like if you have to correct these little details, that shows like if you're the artist and you're like, whoa, I only have one shoot day and we cannot waste time on these little things that people should already be knowing. Like if you need to work on this, then you're not the dancer that I need and you need to go work on your stuff
Yeah.
before you get here.
Good.
I will agree with Lisa. The beginning, it's the very beginning and it's counting. It's boom, boom, boom. If you are messing up the beginning and it's just counting, bro, you need to work on it, because I was like, well, that is a little messy, but that sets the tone. Like if you already start off and you're like, what's happening? You're not counting together. That shows that you're not knowing counts and that you're not really fully engaged, or maybe you're thinking of other things because you're stressed or nervous. I'd be too if I was dancing in front of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you gotta just breathe through it, because I was like, interesting. But it definitely, I feel very triggered, because it's bringing me back to like GRB days.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh no,
Oh,
GRB
wait.
days.
You've
Not Group
auditioned for other
57.
people too. You did audition in front of like Pussycat Dolls and
I
all that.
mean,
Did you get this
yeah.
level of nerves too, or not?
I mean, yes, but you just gotta breathe through it, because when you're amongst other people, who you're like, I know I've seen you on a tour, I know I've seen you in a music video, you have to just be like, oh, I'm on that same level. Even if you haven't before, you have to show it.
Yeah.
So you can't, because sometimes dancers are very like, you don't know what you're doing, so
Yeah.
move out of the way so the professionals can take care of it.
Yeah.
But
But like,
don't give up your power. Be like, no,
yeah.
I'm in the same room as you, so that means that we're not on the same level, and I can be, the same thing you want, or even more.
It's any man's game.
So
Any person's
for
game.
that, but also again, this is triggering me from GRV days when it's like, it's not here, it's here, and you're like, that's what I did. It's like, no, you did this. It's this.
It's your arm length.
Yeah,
Be my.
Um,
That's true. Oh my gosh.
but
yes.
it's the whole, like when she said it's the arm up, I was like, yep, it's a space between your head, and most people don't think about that. Like who thinks
Yeah.
about when you lift your arm? You're just like, yeah, I just lift my arm like this.
Mhm.
No, this is cleaner
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah.
So yes, I understand.
There's an awareness that you need to see in yourself, and then also see how can I best match myself to what they're doing, energy wise, picture wise, facials wise. Like it's all a part of the package. And there's so many layers to think about. So it's like you have, like, on your own, you have to do your own training. Like, where am I at? How do I evaluate where I'm at, and then where do I want to be to where I can be dancing with this dancer. So
But
a
also,
lot of layers.
also be aware of your body.
Yes,
Because not everybody's body's the same.
This
So
is true.
even like those angles. I mean, I know a lot of dancers who are double jointed. So
Mhm.
if your arm is straight
Oh.
up, it's going to bend this way because you're
Yeah.
double jointed. You know,
Yes.
so
Oh
it's like
God.
Yeah.
understanding that what your body can or cannot do. Or for
Mhm.
instance, we were doing a move where you have to do. Oh, you were doing a move where you have to go like this. And
Oh,
some people
God.
were like, I have
I-
a bigger chest or I have a bigger
That
body.
was
That
I
big
that's me,
titties.
dude.
can't.
Yeah.
I fucking can't
You know,
right now, dude.
but that's okay.
Sorry, I believe in you. Yes, you
Understand
can.
what your body is, and what it's not, and what it can or cannot do,
Yeah. It's
and
just
then
extra
adjust
work.
accordingly.
Yeah.
So I think that was
Just accordingly.
it's true.
Again, what we're sharing here is like we're watching this, seeing the perspective of both ends, from
Yes.
the dancers, the trainees ends, and also Lisa's end as
This
a
is why they're
director.
trainees.
So both,
Yeah.
all of us have been there as dancers and also directors, and we're just sharing our experiences in both.
Yes.
So, and hopefully you guys are learning stuff from this as well.
Yeah, I was watching Lisa's face of like, yeah, I do the same thing if
The-
I was a director, but at the same time, I'm triggered by the dancers because I was like, I was that dancer. That was like, oh gosh.
We've
Oh,
all
God,
been in
yeah.
both places.
Mhm.
The
We've all
question,
been in both
I loved
places.
the very question. I was like, the first trigger. You guys practiced last night, yeah? I'm like yesterday. I was like,
Oh
I'm
man!
like, oh shit!
Yes, I've been on the receiving end of
is
that
not
for
the-
sure.
the minute you said yes, I'm like, okay, she's out
Oh,
for
yeah.
blood now.
That
Yeah,
means there's
the
no-
fact that she's asking, you guys practice yesterday is already like, oh no, it doesn't show. It doesn't show at all. Oh
sign
my
number
god!
one, red flag,
Yeah.
red flag.
Red flag.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Nice picture.
Ooh,
Oh.
early.
Oh,
Oh, she keeps.
What's wrong with you?
what's wrong with you?
Sometimes it's just that blunt too. Like she doesn't mean it like in a bad way, but she's like, you're different.
Yeah. They're not trying to say it in a mean way. Just
Yeah.
There's also there's work to be
Yeah.
done.
One more time.
And it's getting up faster.
One more time.
She's just cleaning now.
Oh yeah.
Get it? One more time.
I get it.
It's never one more time, by the way.
Yeah.
It is
That's the
never-
biggest lie you will ever hear as a dancer.
Ooh, pointing out. She kept messing up, she said.
You don't have to be sorry to me. You have to be sorry to your friends.
Ooh.
That's
Damn,
true too.
yeah, dude.
Yo, that's
Yeah.
it. Because it's not about you, it's about how are you doing with your other dancers.
Yeah, especially with the rest of the if it's a team effort. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it has it's a group effort. You have to look like each other.
Yeah. But
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, you can see the worry in her face.
yeah,
It's
it-
getting to her
it's
mentally
it's
now.
it's
Yeah.
fucking with her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And being called out individually.
Especially
It's
when it's not in a
rough.
good way.
Yeah.
Oh man, it weighs on you.
Yeah, and you just want that. And it can be either good or bad. It all depends on the individual
Yeah.
because it can either break them or it becomes the thing that the motivation where they get better.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't cry. She's gonna cry.
Oh.
She's yeah
Oof.
she's
Yeah.
That's true.
that's true.
Yeah.
You want to pause it here?
That is a true statement.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, her name is on this.
Yes.
Who did you get trained by? Oh, Lisa?
Mm.
That's great. If you're good. That's great. If you're bad,
Yeah.
weird. Because Lisa produces really good dancers. So why are
Mhm.
you messing up? You know, so
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times there are certain things that I don't send dancers that I know to that are like, oh, do you recommend them? Because I'm like, no, my name is on that. People, they know me
Yeah.
They don't
It's
know
a two-way
you.
Street.
and you're not ready. So I'm not putting my name on you. So that is very true as far as like putting people out there with your stamp on it. It's just, you have to be very careful. So I agree with that statement.
I said it earlier. That moment of being called out individually, it
Mhm.
sucks. In an ideal world, it's a one-on-one conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a good chunk of times you just don't have that luxury, and things have
Yeah.
to get done.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that pressure is the thing that pushes you over the edge in either getting it or getting down on yourself.
Yeah.
That's where the mental toughness that I don't think is discussed enough,
Yeah.
that is
Mhm.
required for our field. It's like, you work on your craft, all this stuff, but there's the mental toughness that you need to have when going to auditions, working with people who may not be conducive to a great environment, but you're trying to get paid and get the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say two things. One, it is for myself personally, I don't get sad, I get mad. I get mad at myself.
Schmad.
Like if they're like, no, Brandon, do it again. No, Brandon, do that again. I go,
Yes.
and I just get upset.
Yeah.
Not with them, me. And I
Yeah.
go, oh my God, why am I fucking up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Da, 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 da. Let me do it again. Da, 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 da. And then
Yeah.
if I'll check in. Was that better? No. I'd rather know now because as dancers, I think we can all speak for this. As dancers, when you think you're killing it and then you see the video and you're like,
Oh my God. Every single video
why
I
didn't
feel.
anybody tell me that I
Yeah.
wasn't doing that right? Like
Yeah.
I'd be mad too. So
Yeah.
that is important to know. Like
Yeah.
although it sucks to get called out, I'd rather know now
Yeah.
than the whole video, music video, performance, whatever comes out and they're like, oh, all those dancers are great except for the guy with the white tank and you're like, damn it, that's
Yeah,
me.
you're like, I'm the guy with the white
Oh,
tank.
I
Yeah.
get it. But like as far as letting it get to you, we actually just talked about this doing the group audition. So auditioning for Spice Girls
Mhm.
for their Spice World Tour. That was a group audition and you had to do it together as a group perfectly. And a few people messed up in our group and the very first 8 count of everything. And Rich and Tone came and yelled at everybody and was just like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
I thought you were all professional dancers. This is ridiculous. You set it on the wrong count. So
Mhm.
I was just like, oh no, but I did it. I did it right. Like, does that count
Mhm.
in a group setting? No.
Doesn't.
It may count to an extent, but if it's a group assignment, you need. It's not like college.
Yeah.
You can't just be the person who does nothing and get the credit for it. Like you got to do your own work as well.
Yeah. And then if also in a group setting, it's like it's not really not about you. It's about like how does the overall picture look for the artist, and does this hit the level of what the artist is wanting? And at the end of the day, like in this field, like if you're trying to dance for someone, or like be in music videos or be on tour or be on stage, then unless you're the artist, it's not about you. Like if you're ensemble, then it's about the overall picture. And if you're not fitting the overall picture, then it's like you kind of have to come to terms like, okay, how do I meet where the overall picture needs to be versus where I am now? And like what needs to happen in between that gap. And like some people are like, yeah, this is okay, I'm not where I need to be, so I need to work on this and this. Whereas like, or you can, or some, like if you feel like if you go in the other direction, you get down in yourself where it's like, okay, well then now what? Because now you're just there, and do you want to move to where you want to be, and do you want to fill that gap? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's the choice that you need to make.
Yeah.
One more time? No? One more time?
No.
And it's never one more time. Never one.
A class.
Yeah.
Rappers, hi. Hi.
Also, they're all the rappers of the.
无法哇，我这个就是舞蹈基础乐，一来就唱跳，而且3天就是压力非常大，不怎么记得住动作。Did you guys practice a lot? Yeah. How many hours? Till 2 a.m. last night. Okay, cool. So,
Reminds me of.
shall we start?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Not impressed.
More feeling.
Yeah. There we go. A little bit more. A little bit more.
More feeling.
Yeah. A little in the face. Perform
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
两万笑到。
Her
Oh, she was nervous.
her friend is literally telling her what to do. But
Yeah.
sometimes you're so in your head, you just
Yeah,
don't.
you
You just
can't even hear
don't
it.
like. Don't fuck
Yeah.
up. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. That's all yours. Some people are just saying in their heads.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Thank you, you two, for smiling.
I mean, not bad for like for 3 days and having to get the song down and.
And I
Yeah.
told you to
Yeah.
smile. Why don't you smile?
Dang.
I told you to smile, but you just ignore my word.
Oh.
You just, even though they told you to smile too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, we're really rooting for you. We're trying.
I like that one was like, just
Smile. Just smile.
Sure.
难受当时。
Gosh.
Oh.
Oh
Mm.
no.
单独点了一批的，因为我也现在这个相处，就没有想到为什么人学唱跳可以这么快，可以练就会这个，然后我就一直加练。
Oh, it's
ส
okay.
ไตล์คุณไม่ใช่สไตล์น่ารักแต่ในเมื่อคุณมาอยู่ในทีมนั้นแล้วอ่ะได้คุณต้องแสดงคอนเซ็ปต์นั้นอ่ะ
Mhm.
คุณทำอะไรไม่ได้อะนอกจากคุณจะ face it แล้วก็ข้ามมันไปได้แค่นั้นเองอยากจะบอกว่าทุกคนต้อง push ตัวเองมากกว่านี้เพราะว่าคุณเป็นเองอะค่ะคุณจะมาเต้นแบบนี้ไม่ได้อะเพราะว่าทุกคนจะคาดหวังกับคุณมากกว่านี้
Eek.
next
Oof.
Smile. Better.
Yeah.
What?
She's
We
really
can see it.
putting the effort in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, look at now she's smiling.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
他平时唱的很好都笑不出来使劲笑
It
Oh.
it can be hard to force out a smile, especially if you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
You're nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
See, it's infectious.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because the audience doesn't know what's actually happening in your life, but if you just put on the smile,
Yeah. When you're in entertainment, you kind of think like they're here to watch us, and like this might be like the only like 2 hours that they get out of their lives, and they're looking for comfort, they're looking for happiness, they're looking to see like all their dreams fulfilled of whatever, or like for whatever artists they've like been watching. And I think we forget about that sometimes as performers because we want it to look perfect, but then we need to remember like you guys love dancing still, despite the blood, sweat, and tears, despite all of the mental toll that it takes on you. Do you still love it?
yes.
And that's really the reason like we come out and we do all of this and we put ourselves through all of that, because at the end of the day, like I love being here and I want to be on this stage, and that's what that's what the audience needs to feel, that you love it and you're infectious, and that's why they need you.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. I always say performance is infectious. Like, if I'm smiling and dancing right in front of you, 95% of the time, you're going to smile back. That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
human nature. If I send the
Yeah.
energy to you, you're going to smile back. Now, if I'm dancing kind of dead face, but I'm doing all the moves perfectly, I'm going to get the same thing back of like,
Mm-hmm.
this is interesting to watch. I
Yeah.
don't feel joy, but this is interesting.
I don't feel joy, but
It's Marie Kondo. Like, does this bring you happiness and joy?
Yeah.
No, I'm just watching a dance thing. I'm not feeling joy at all. So again, it also helps hide for here. It doesn't help too much hide, but in general, if you mess up, it's okay if you're smiling about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you're dead faced and then you mess up, now you lost the one thing that you had, which was dance, and you no longer have that.
Okay.
But if you could smile and keep everything going, like I didn't mess up.
I meant
Everyone else, all the other cast did the wrong move. I did the right one. Then I might believe it. So it's definitely about performance. It's about putting that whole thing on. It's the energy you're presenting out.
Mhm.
It's what's the vibe of the song. What are the lyrics of the song? It's really. Side note. Speaking of lyrics of the song, there's a music video I did with the Viet pop star, and I didn't know because it was in Viet, so I was just dancing. And then I asked the producer what the words were, and he's like, "Oh, it's about being in the club and doing drugs and like having sex." And I was like, "What?" So here we are, like, that's what it says. And I was
Oh,
like,
no.
"Man, I choreographed the whole thing, and I didn't really know what they were saying." And I'm like, "This is odd." So, yes, performance, lyrics, embody that, so it reads in the room. But right now, that poor other girl, she's like watching and just kind of down. She's like, they're squeezing a smile out. I messed up. It's okay if you messed up. Just, I mean, in this case, it's a little tense, but in general, just be like,
Mhm.
hey, you know what? Can you try that again?
Yeah.
I respect a dancer who can say, can I just try that one more time? And I'm like, yeah, let's try it one more time. Then you just being like, I didn't smile, and I'm not gonna just do this shit, and I'm just gonna sit here. And now I'm like, okay, well, you're throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Uh-huh.
You're throwing a temper tantrum, so I'm gonna leave you there, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna get everybody else who's like giving me what I need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yes,
Yeah.
it is important.
I feel like a lot of times, like we cut our journey short because we think it's not it hasn't like met it, or like we haven't like gotten there.
We
Yeah.
say no for the other person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Instead
so
of-
like
yeah.
if you're in this industry, like decide now that the only way that like that you're not going to move forward is because like someone like, hey, you're not right for the job or this or that, like, but like exhaust all options of trying to move forward in an audition process or like whatever journey you're on, like until the universe or whoever you're trying to dance for says no.
Yeah, like for me, like when I did Nintendo Land, when I auditioned for that, I didn't make the cut for the choreography part, but then I went for the specialty and tricks, which is for breaking. So, and I just got to do my solo there, and then I got booked for it. I booked for it against. I thought I was just done for the day until I saw that opportunity. So, and then if I just went home, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's at the commercial that we talked about earlier. That commercial for hand hip hop. I was like, what is hand hip hop stuff? What is that? And there was like, yeah, you know, when they do like dance, they do like hand dancing. It's like hip hop hand dancing, hip hop finger dancing. And I was like, what? Windmills? Like, what? And then they're like, can you do like fast movements with your hands? And I was like, I can whack. And they're like, oh yeah, whacking. And I was like, sure, I can whack. And then I did it. I made the first cut. They got to the second round and were like, here's some reference videos. And it was tutting. And I was like, oh, I know what you're saying now. Tutting. And they're like, yeah, like see how they're making shapes with their hands? I was like, tutting. And then they would show me another video and they're like this, finger dancing. It was finger tutting. And I was like, finger dancing. So myself, initially, I was doing what Lauren said not to do. And I emailed the producer and was like, hey, if you're really looking for tutters or finger tutters, like, I appreciate everything, but I'm just not. There's no way that I'm that. I don't know how to do it. I'm not trained in it, really. I don't have really good angles. I have duck hands, for those of you who know what that is.
Yeah.
I have duck hands. I just can't. That's not
this is
what I'm
like-
trained in. But they're like, no, the casting director really likes you and your energy. And they ended up switching gears and saying, I liked your style and kind of what you do. I liked how you kind of faked tutting. So they switched gears and said, how about this? If we give you a section, could you be the choreographer and the dancer for this section? And it's you and another girl. And I went from being, I don't have this. I'm not a tutter. I'm not a finger dancer. To being an assistant choreographer and being booked, teaching my choreography. Now I put on my reel, and that's on my resume that I'm like, I've choreographed in the music or commercial. I danced in it. I could see myself in it. I'm like, cool. But I went from me being like, oh, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm not what you're looking for, to booked and blessed. You know, so don't cut yourself short. Really just keep going. But
Yeah.
props to all these people.
Yeah.
Because
Props to
this
all
is
these
intense.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially it's Lisa, so that's already like,
It's a
oh my god,
big name.
yeah,
All right, let's keep it going.
Oh no,
this montage.
not the montage.
I think it's good because she's like
Aw.
watching and learning. It's like, oh, okay, I see the
Yeah.
gap and where
Yes.
what I was missing. Yeah.
Baby monster.
ทำดีที่สุดค่ะในคลาสนี้
Oh, she's the
อยากให้ทุกคนดูเขาเป็นตัวอย่างไว้นะคะ
Mm.
โอเค มีใครคิดว่าตัวเองยังสามารถอยู่ใน A class ต่อไปได้หลังจาก challenge นี้
keep
คะ
on after this challenge.
You got it.
My favorite
you
is
got it.
glasses.
You
Yeah,
got it.
you got it, baby.
จริงว่าใช้ไม่บ้าง
Aw.
ไม่รู้สึกเสียดายหน่อยนะคะที่ว่าสามารถ A แล้วอ่ะไม่รู้สึกอยากอยู่ต่อหรอรู้สึกว่ามันเป็นแบบ I know it's really hard แต่ในเมื่อคุณมาอยู่ใน A แล้วอ่ะสมควรที่จะทำให้มันทุกควรที่จะอยู่กับ A อะค่ะ
Mm.
Unit 4 if you can't do you can't go home have to make sure everybody can do and do it right
Oh, that's where it stops?
Yeah.
I need to know what happens next.
Wait, did she say if you can do it, you can go home, or if you can't do it, you can go home?
I think she meant can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how she, where it is intimidating, but she does leave it up to them. Like, okay, you decide. Like, if you want this chance, then you got to fight for it, instead of telling them that where they should be, like really leaving it up to the dancer, like, and seeing like how much are you willing to fight for it. I feel like people can be really talented, but the ones that stay in the game are the ones who want it and the ones who work for it. Like I've seen people like go from like point A to point B and they're like not so good at one thing, and then they keep at it and they keep diligent and they keep consistent, and then they get to where they want to be because they want it.
Yeah, and to bounce off that, like one of my favorite quotes of this year is like, "Don't do your best, do what is required," because sometimes your best sucks. And all that means is like it's not a knock on the person. It's just like it just means there's a lack of skills there at the moment. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of these trainees did their best, but it's not what's required for a high level S tier, AAA level performance or artist. So
that's true. I was triggered. I feel seen. And
speak on it.
I will seen. Just because, like I said, it reminds me of old school GRV days. And although I love dance, I absolutely do not miss rehearsing and cleaning till 3 a.m. That was rough because we would start rehearsal at 7. And then
this is true.
We would go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, and then hopefully 3. So I feel triggered and seen, but at the same time, as a choreographer and director, I'm like, yeah, I would say that to my dancers of like, no, this isn't good enough. Do it again. One more time. I lied one more time. I lied one more time. But it builds character. Yeah. I do a little differently as of myself. Like she's a little straight faced, and I can be when it needs to be, but I tried to be more versatile when it comes to the types of dancers that I work with.
Yeah, I feel like she's just playing up the strict mentor thing for TV.
I mean, TV's TV for sure.
Yeah, because just it makes for good drama on TV.
Yeah,
drama.
And the music. I mean, I'm definitely the person that's like, that was bad. Do it again. That was bad. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
You're upset? Be upset at yourself. It's okay. Do it again. And you're doing everything else perfectly. So there's like a positive, like you're doing it perfectly. Just that move. I don't know why you look weird, but you do. Look in the mirror, watch her do it. Do you match her? No. Find out why and fix it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I have that understanding of the strict, but I try to throw in a little bit of sugar instead of salt.
Sometimes it can be hard because you know your dancers and you don't want to speak to them like this, but you're trying to figure out how do you get from point A to point B, where you're like, they're not hitting the pictures and they're not clean and they're not hitting these textures. And I want, and you're like, you want the vision to look a certain way, not because you want it, but that's you want the team to look a certain way. You want the performance to look a certain way. You want them to look strong, and you know that they're strong, but there's a gap. And you're like, how do I motivate these people to dig within themselves to bring out what I know that they can't do? And that is hard.
Yeah. And you don't want to be embarrassed as a choreographer to go on set and have the producer or the director say, hey, come here really quick. So your girl over here is off. So, because then you're like, because
then it's
now you're in
like,
front of everybody.
Did you not see that they were off? Because they're off. And then it's like, then it looks bad on you. And then it's like, it builds like kind of a distrust between yourself and whoever's trying to cast you. It's like, oh, I thought I could be reliable on you to bring me something that is a finished picture that I can see and put on TV or put on stage. And now I can't. So like, I like you, I like what you're doing, but like the people who you're bringing me is like, that's a different story. And it's like, okay, like how do I meet that gap?
But that's the thing, is that if your dancers are messing up, they don't have time to be like, well, we'll try it again tomorrow.
Or take 5 minutes to fucking clean. No, you should have been clean.
Like we need to start doing lunch breaks. We need to start going to the next scene. Like we have a whole set list to go through. Like we're taking too much time on this, you know? So it's like, you don't want to get there. So Lisa is just trying to get everything ready because of her name, 1, but 2, it cuts all the BS out and goes straight to business. So then everything is a nice package when you present it out to the world.
Yeah. And especially being on her tier of like dancer, performer, and everything that she does, she's like, oh man, I don't have the time for this.
Yeah.
Like I really wish I did, but I'm literally stacked with all of these other things.
I hope you guys enjoyed, learned a lot from this,
Mhm.
and you guys take it on with your own dance journey wherever you guys are. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed it. Do all the things.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow us, and go on to Patreon.
Yeah, that's
Get
where
early access.
That's where we get all the early, that's where you guys can get the early access. But other than that, hope you guys
Get some fun
enjoyed.
treats. Oh yeah.
And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.